Right, you've had your say on Manchester United as well. You've had your say on Liverpool. I want to get Roy on Manchester United and what's happened actually there to leave this situation now. Ed's in charge. There is talk of this interim manager who's going to come in until the end of the season when the next one is going to arrive in the summer. How do you see this?
I don't know, really. Just
well, what do you think? What do you think about the Darren Fletcher appointment? Do you think that's the right one?
I'm not really too bothered. I'll be honest with you, because you don't know what decisions they're making at the top. In terms of they brought the manager in last year. He came in new to the league, new to English football. All the staff were new to English football. Most of the players over the last few years were getting used to the Premier League. So what's happened the last few weeks? The way they've sacked him. Obviously, he didn't seem to have the players on side, but they had Burnley coming up. I think they'll probably beat Burnley if they're really at it. They have a cup game coming up. They have a City. So the timing wasn't great. He's obviously had a fallout with Wilcox. Do I think Fletch can do a good job for a few weeks, a few months? I'm sure he could.
He's talked about...
Do you not think the players were on side with Ruben Amorim, Roy?
No.
I always thought they actually liked him.
I don't know. I'm not saying they were offside with him, but I don't think they were fully... To me, they weren't putting the hard yards in week out.
Darren Fletcher's talked about, returning to traditional Manchester United values of energy and of four at the back and calling to Alex Ferguson the first thing he did.
They played four at the back last night and they couldn't get the job done against Burnley.
But do you approve of that approach?
Does it matter? Does it really matter what I think? Because they went back to four last night. I heard Fletch talking before the game. He's talking about they've done the prep really well and he's thanked 20 of his staff, Johnny Evans, every Tom, Dick and Harry, and the ex-United player. There's obviously a job waiting for any of them. But you want someone to come into that dressing room and get a grip of a dressing room with some really good players and people like Bruno and get them on side and tell them to do the hard yards. I've said it before and I'm repeating myself. Last night, typical example of United. Not bad going forward, score a goal, but they don't do the hard yards. So you've got to get a manager to get a group of players in to say this is the direction we're going. Do I think Fletcher's the man to do it? Absolutely not. He's obviously stepping in to do it for a few weeks and a few months. And he might win a few games. If they go with Ollie, whatever, good luck to whoever comes in. I wish him well. But they need to get a top manager in there to get a grip of that dressing room. And obviously part of management, as we know, is managing upwards. So whoever's making the decisions above the manager, which they will be, people like Wilcox, etc., that's part of your management skills. But listen, good luck to Fletch.
It feels like we're going around the block because I asked you this question 7 years ago about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going back in there potentially. But is that the right choice right now?
You could throw 20 names at me. You'd obviously say the same thing. Whoever goes in, you wish them well. Do I think it's the right or wrong answer? I don't know. But if it is to the end of the season, I think Ollie would do all right till the end of the season. Do I see Ollie as the manager for the next 4 or 5 years, getting United back competing? Then probably not.
Do you have a name?
Who'd I go with? I'd go with Eddie Howe.
Why?
I like him. I like what he's done. His management. He's managed a lot of games. When his teams are at it, they play good football. I know it's not for everyone. He'll have his critics. I like what he's done at Newcastle. Even at Bournemouth, he's managed 700-800 games. He's still a young man. I like his... I love his calmness. I think sometimes Man United maybe need a little bit of that. We've seen the previous manager going in. I like people who are emotional. Obviously, I'm quite an emotional person. But I think his calmness, what he's done at Newcastle, Champions League a couple of times, winning a cup, I'd be happy to see him go in there.
I think it'd be difficult to get him, obviously. But I do think United need a man manager, someone who can get the best out of the players. I think that a lot of the time, the manager will come in and want to change a lot of things and in turn, you probably do need a manager who's going to come in and look at the dressing room and go, these are the types of players we have. System-wise, you need to find the right manager for the system and the players you actually have. Do you want to go and buy 5 or 10 players again, or do you want to
you want someone to walk into your dressing room, and when the players are sitting there, as soon as he walks in, you go, here we go. We're going places. That's what you want. Personality. People talk about CVs and coaching and tactics and system. You want somebody to walk in that dressing room and get a grip of these players. I don't mean in an aggressive way, but just get that belief in the players. Go, this is the way we're going. We're going to start running hard. We're going to slip into down the football. We're going to be attacking, blah, blah, blah. We're going to be hard to beat. We're going to do the hard yards. We're going to run properly. We see teams like Arsenal City over the last few years. The reason they're competing at the top is what they're doing out of possession. We've seen Arsenal again tonight. As poor as they've been, they kept a clean sheet. Bit of pride. United last night. The standard of the game, United and Burnley, was a joke. Absolute joke. Everyone after the game going, oh, it wasn't bad. Yeah, we done well. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Nonsense. Absolute rubbish. Well, you mentioned it there, we're going on in circles. Who's going to go in? Any ex-United player's got a chance. I'm telling you.
Not any.
You don't fancy it, Roy? Gary?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. You meant Ned?
Just to clarify, you haven't had a call.
No. I don't think I'll be getting one.
And you have to be able to manage the pundits as well as the Manchester United manager, not just the players. Is that right?
Honestly, to be fair, it's tiring, Dave. It is massive. Look, it's just tiring. As an ex-United player, people think, honestly, it's just tiring watching it. And I don't think we're asking for a lot, because a few weeks ago when I watched the games against Bournemouth, Newcastle, Villa, which actually one game of those was lost and one was drawn, so it's not exactly amazing. I was actually really happy that there was an excitement and a level of decent football, and it looked like there was a bit of a thrill back in the performances. But for so long, over 12 years, the football's been really poor.
Well, what happens in these job interviews? I'm intrigued why they keep giving certain people a job. What happens in the interview that they sit there and go, and then 12 months, 14 months later, go, he's not the guy for us? Do you not suss that out when you're speaking to him? You look at somebody in the eye and go, and you see who's making the decision at Man United. You still have Ferguson and David Gill hanging on like a bad smell. Who's making the decisions? Ratcliffe? Wilcox? Who's coming into this interview process and you're speaking to a manager? You've done it. You've interviewed managers. You must sit and get a feeling for somebody and go, he's the guy for us. Almost forget the CV. You need something on your CV, of course, that you've won a trophy or you've been manager a long time. But you got to look somebody in the eye and go, are you the man to get us places?
I think if you think about the appointments over the last 10, 12 years now, and look, we've flipped back and forward United from sort of people that the club know, people that basically are sort of what will be fashionable in Europe, and young people who are a bit of, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. But if you think about it, Jose Mourinho really is the only appointment that fits the criteria of the club. He's managed in the Premier League, so there's an element of risk removed of the fact that he knows the league.
It doesn't have to be a criteria, does it?
I think it's a criteria. I think knowing the league, and so I'm not saying it's perfect, but if you said now, what's the risks? Someone coming to a new league, Alan Slot came and won the league in the first season, so that can happen. And Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool and did a great job. But my point is, if you want to remove the risks and try and sort of remove as many risks as possible, have they managed in the league before? Do they know the country? Do they know the game here? Have they managed in Europe and done well in Champions Leagues? Have they been successful and won titles? Have they done the things that Manchester United... Can they handle big pressure and big atmospheres of big clubs? If you put those 3 or 4, 5, 6 things and say, right, they've got to fit that criteria, then you're looking at the likes of Ancelotti and Tuchel, aren't you? Looking at the types that they've been in England, they've won leagues, they've won Champions Leagues, they've been around the block, they've managed big players, they've managed personalities. They're not going to get a little bit scared if a pundit says something. If a pundit opens his mouth, don't be worried about a pundit, are they? So my point is, if you think about those 5 or 6 things there that are the criteria of managing a huge football club, it only points towards 2 or 3 people left that you can actually go for. And that's where Manchester United, I feel, should go, remove the risks.
And what happens when somebody walks in your dressing room? We had managers at United, or new coaches come in, obviously with Kidd or Steve McLaren, and I'd work with different managers. What you want, the top players sit, and somebody walks in your dressing room who's doing a team talk or doing sessions. The top players looking at the coach and the manager to go, what have you got for us? That's what the top lads do.
Yeah.
What have you got for us?
Yeah.
And if they haven't got the answers, the players are going to eat you alive.
Do you know something, Roy, though? You say that. I mean, I speak to players at League 2 level, and they want to know what the club's training facilities are, what the plans are, what the ambitions are, what the coaching system... The players really do want to know what the club is going to do for them and what the coach is going to do. Roy's absolutely right then. It would even get more demanding at what would be a Premier League level. Who are you going to sign? What we're going to... They're going to be looking at that and they want to be inspired. I get the fact that playing for United, there should be a level of self-motivation and sort of accountability and responsibility that they take. But they still need someone to inspire them that gives them that enthusiasm and that environment to succeed.
Yes, but also if some players are asking managers, that I had at Sunderland, also if a player's come in and going, who else are we signing? Going, don't worry about that. That's not your business. Do you want to come to the club or do you want to roll your sleeves up and do a job for us? And you're right, everyone's going, don't worry about it. The top clubs will have all the best stuff. Yeah. Do you want to come here and roll your sleeves up and get United back competing at the top? If the answer is yeah, let's go for it. I had a bad player asking me at Sunderland, who else are you signing? I should have kicked him out the window. Who else are you signing? Don't worry about who else you're signing.
Anyway.
Missing Gerald Kwanzaa.
Anyway, it is time to go. We'll do this all again for the Manchester derby because we're going to be reunited for some more terse
I'm
exchanges.
not there, I don't think.
No, you are. You are.
Skiing somewhere.
Community service continues.
17th of January that one. We have kept you long enough tonight.
Indumentaria, la Kings Limited Gold Edition, solo hay 50 unidades de todos los equipos y también puede ser vuestra entrando en kingsleague.pro, así que es los datos a tener en cuenta en cuanto a indumentarias. Gran partido, Gonzalo, Gerard, el que tenemos por delante.
Ojo, ojo, estilo La Bombonera, estadio de River.
Hostia, más minutos de retraso en el inicio, ¿eh? Ya tenemos lío.
Lo llamó Edo, dibujando la parábola sobre la banda derecha, donde en el vértice del área aparece Nadir. ¡Nadir para adentro! ¡Gol! De Nadir Lua, que tiene una facilidad pasmosa. Encuentra a Pablo, que balón para Nadir para el segundo. Se tafa de Cócera, es un golazo. ¡Es un golazo! Señoras, señores, bienvenidos al show de Nadir Lua. Pibe.
El mejor.
Vamos
Haciendo
a ver.
espionaje, ¿eh?
Vaya mierda ha dado, pibe. Va, ya te puedes ir a la cúpula a comer, va.
Tiene que salir Cócera para entregar hacia el centro. Se la regala a Coy, le puede pegar Coy para adentro.
Vaya chicha, nano.
¡Gol! De Porcinos Óscar Coy. Ah, pues sí.
Tony, tienes brazalete volante.
Pero es que, señores,
No te lo dije, hombre.
Tenemos, comodín, ¿cómo lo usamos? Penalti.
penalti.
Venga, será penalti.
Vamos, Cuni.
Puede meter.
Meter en el partido a Cuni. Jordi para adentro, ¡qué golazo!
¡Guau!
¡Dios!
¡Gol!
Eso, dale.
Vamos con Nadir Lua y con Laura Vizcaíno.
Pues sí, Nadir, 2 goles, victoria y a cuartos, enhorabuena.
Sí, sabíamos que el partido iba a ser muy importante porque veníamos de una muy mala dinámica. El equipo ha estado bien, sufríamos defensivamente y creo que hemos estado muy juntitos. Y nada, primer objetivo cumplido.
Os espera Science, rival complicado, imagino.
Sí, empatamos contra ellos y en shootout
Así
perdimos. Ha quedado segundo por algo. Nada, concentración, confianza con nosotros mismos y intentar ganar para el sábado estar en el Wizzing.
Os lo veremos mañana, mucha suerte.